welcome to stretch today. We're going to do a total body. We're going to start in a standing position. So we're just going to start by rolling and warming everything up. And those of you that are already warm, you can get into a little deeper stretch and just go right into it. If you need some time, please just take that time. Taking slow, deep breaths. And I want you to remember today is stretch. And what that means is that we're stretching things out. We're lengthening those muscles. So if you are tight, please, if you're feeling a pull, then that's too deep. Your body will tell you, open up, just kind of back and forth. We're just warming up the joints, opening up those chests and shoulders for now. And we're gonna get pretty much into the hips, all front, side, and back of our hips and our back. A little bit of shoulders today. Go ahead and just shake everything out. Gently take it ear to shoulder. And exhale over to the other side, drop that shoulder. Just standing soft with those knees, taking slow, deep breaths. And we'll do most stretches one or two or three times, just so that you notice that first time maybe it's a little tight. And then as we progress into that second time, you'll notice that your body's able to relax a little more. And it helps if you breathe. So if you try not to hold your breath, kind of slow your breath down, and then exhale. And bring it up, roll your wrists. Let's get those in there too. Yeah, and shake it out. Let's open the feet. And we're just gonna take it side to side. You can soften your knees, just kind of getting some motion in those hips. So motion is motion. Yeah, so we wanna move those joints kind of opened up, and then take it to little circles. Kind of assess where you're at. Like, where are you tight? Where are you feeling that tension in your body? Go the other direction. And again, we're just warming up. This is all active stretching. Push forward and back. So I'm just gonna go this way so you can kind of see. Little bends, keeping that back straight, squeezing that tush. This feels so good. If you're doing this with me right now, maybe you're feeling a little tight from your slumber. And if you end up doing this later on, we're gonna roll those ankles, get those toes in there. And if you're doing this later with us, maybe you've had a long day at work. So either way, this feels amazing. It's a great way to start your day. Let's do the other. And it's also a great way to end your day. So it's amazing what just a little love with your body can do. Roll the other way. And shake it out. So what we're gonna do is take our foot and place it so that our toenails or the tops of your foot are facing your mat, and then we're gonna actually sit into our calves. I'm gonna show you here, and let me show you at a little angle. So you wanna make sure your toes are flipped under. We don't want them like this. That's not gonna stretch the top of your foot. Now, it's summer right now, and well, it's also California here. So we wear flip-flops all year round. And so a lot of tension in our feet and the tops of our feet and the shins. So this is a great stretch. Those of you that are runners or any of my roller derby friends out there, this is a great stretch for your shins. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. So we want to flip our toes. Make sure that your foot is flipped. And depending on your flexibility, this might be it. We're going to sit into that calf. So I'm going to show you at a little angle here. And then just sit into that calf. Open up. So if this was your foot, you'd be opening up right through the front that ankle, and then all the way up. Pretend this is my leg and this is the shin. So it feels really, really good. I love this stretch. And shake it out. Nice. So to reverse that, I'm just going to turn this way so you can see, is we don't have to have our foot real far back, but we're going to flex our toes. So we're kind of doing the opposite, right? And I want you to sit into your legs. What we're doing is flexing the toes as much as possible. Feel the stretch on the big toe going all the way up the bottom of your foot. So make sure you're not turning that ankle. So we don't want to turn our ankle in. We want it right on the ball and then sit into it. And you feel a huge stretch all the way through the bottom of your foot. This feels really good. All right, so same foot, you're going to bring it back further. Now we're getting into the calf, drop your back heel. Now it's okay if your heel is slightly up, whatever your flexibility is, drop it. And then if you'd like, you can lean forward if you need a little deeper stretch, or stay right here. Shift your hips forward. Now if we shift our hips forward, you can feel a deeper stretch right down the Achilles, closer to the heel. This feels good. And then release. So we're going to do the other side. And we're going to take the toes. We're going to flex the toes, sit into it. Again, we're stretching the bottom of the foot. All right, so make sure you're not turning that ankle. We're gonna center it right on the ball of the foot and then sit into it. Again, if you wear flip-flops or high heels or your runners, anything where you do a lot of stress on your feet, maybe you stand all day long for work, these are great stretches. And let's stretch out through the calf. So I think we neglect our feet. If our feet are out of alignment, so is our whole body. So if our feet aren't flat, then our knees kind of wobble out and our hips and everything kind of is in alignment. So we got to take care of those feet. And then shake it out. Nice. I'm going to grab my blocks so you can see what's happening. If you have blocks, you can use books or anything else. And if you don't have anything, it's no big deal. You don't have to use anything. You can use your shins as a tool too. But I'm going to keep my hair so you can see them. Big inhale, reach up nice and tall. I'm going to go to slight angle so you can see. Exhale, we're going to go into our forward fold. So the blocks are here so that you're not just trying to reach, right? You hinge at the hip. And to warm up those hamstrings, just very gently bend and straighten your knees. So again, we don't want to go straight into a stretch. Just let your head hang heavy. Very gently. Feel that stretch when you bend your knees. The stretch get a little deeper through that lower back. And when you straighten your legs, that hamstring stretch. Now that we're a little active, notice how it feels a little bit better to fold. Hold your forward fold. Now your knees have a slight bend. That way you get a deeper stretch to that lower back. Hold it here. And if you can't reach your blocks here, you can have them up higher. All right. And now that the stores are open, you can buy blocks at TJ Maxx or any of those places for like $5 each. Super cheap. But again, you can use anything else in your house. Doesn't have to even be a book, just something if you need it. All right, let's bend the knees, hands on your thighs. Push your hips forward, round, and roll up. Big stretch up. We always want to counterbalance. So exhale, hands behind your lower back. Just a slight bend in your knees. Push your hips, squeeze your glutes for support. Now, if you'd like, you can look up or just look forward. So if that bothers your neck, just keep it centered. And then lift up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down to your forward fold. We're doing that one more time. Remember, we'll try to do everything about 2 or 3 times each. Notice this time feels a little bit better. Maybe you're not farther down. Maybe you're in the same position, but your body is kind of relaxing that nervous system. It's relaxing those muscles to allow them to lengthen. So take a breath. Feel your shoulders sink towards your ears. Now take a breath, and we're going to lift our hips up just a little more. Maybe you can straighten those legs a tiny bit more. Feel the stretch go through the back of the knee. A little deeper in the hamstrings. Now I want you to lift halfway up. You can place your hands on your shins or on your blocks. And I want you to push your chest forward. So push your tailbone up and back and your chest forward. Feel that stretch go from the back of the knee. Now you could be soft a little bit, especially if you're really tight back there. But I want you to feel this. It shouldn't be in your back, just your hamstrings and glutes. You can be wherever you need to. Push your chest forward. Exhale, slowly come back down. Keep that hinge in your hip as you come down. Feel free to wrap your arms, even just your hands, wherever you can reach. Wrap them around your legs. Tuck your chin into your chest. Feel that stretch go along your spine all the way up into your neck. You can drop those knees a little deeper and focus more on that back. Take a breath. Let's ragdoll up. You can use those hands. Take your time. If you have a hard time having your head down and then back up, just very slowly come on up. All right, so we got through the hamstrings, hips, low back. We're going to go into the IT band here. We're going to take our right leg and cross it over. Now I want to show you here, but I'm going to go at an angle so you can see, but we're going to cross our leg over right here like this. Okay? Take a breath. This is where those blocks come in handy a little bit more. Inhale. We're just getting some fresh oxygen, and then come back into your forward fold. Now notice it's a lot harder to reach down, hinge at the hip. So this is where those blocks come in handy. Your foot is crossed, but we're focusing on that straight leg. So my right leg is the straight one, my left leg is crossed. Gently drop down. Hold it here. Now remember, we lifted halfway up. The more we lengthen the spine, the deeper the stretch in that lower body. Hold it here. So right now we're focusing on that supporting leg, which is the right leg. If it's your left, that's fine. Exhale and release. Now we're going to get into that IT band. So I'm going to face towards you a little bit without blocks so you can see what's happening. And what we're going to do is the crossed leg, we're going to step it off to the edge. So the weight is on the outside blade of your supporting leg, which is your right. And I want you to push your hip, your right hip, off to the side. So feel that stretch go through the side of the hip, down the side of the thigh. This is an IT stretch. So again, runners, people that stand a lot, people that walk a lot, so whatever occupation, maybe you're at home, and you're doing all those things you do at home, back to center, uncross your legs. It's easier to come out that way. Shake your legs out, round and roll up. I hope that translated on screen for you. Hold it here, inhale, lift up. Exhale, shake it out. So we're gonna do the other side. So the stretch was through the hip, down the side of the leg, and not your knee, but just kind of around here. So IT band, so we did hamstrings. So now we're gonna take our right leg, cross it over our left, okay? Big inhale, reach up. This leg is just support. Exhale, take it into your forward fold. So make sure your toes, your knees, everything are in line. We're hinging at the hip, hold it here. We're starting with that hamstring stretch. Take a breath. Again, as you exhale, feel those muscles release a little bit. And then halfway up. So again, the more we extend that spine, the more that stretch is through that lower body. Exhale, go back to your hip, drop it down. Now we're gonna step that crossed leg. So we're stepping this crossed leg slightly over. So the weight is on the outside of your foot here. All right, so most of my weight is by my toes and the side of the foot. Take your left hip and push it off to the left. Now make sure that you're not turning the body. We have a tendency to want to turn because it hurts. So if it's too much, just step in closer, okay? Now try to relax that head. I know it's hard. I know you want to tense everything up, but try to just let everything else relax as much as possible. Take a breather. We're going to hold this a bit. We want to let those muscles kind of connect with the brain. Shift it to center. Uncross your legs. It's easier to come out that way. Shake it out. Helps to shake it out. Ragdoll yourself to a standing position. Oh, your hips should feel really good. Now we're going to counterbalance. Open up. Exhale right here. So we did the outside. We're going to do the inside. So again, we always want to do opposites. I hope you guys are feeling amazing. When you're done with this, you're just going to float out of here. So we're going to place our hands on our thighs. Push your hips back. We're going inner thighs. All right, so there's different stretches here. All right, we're not going into a garland pose or a frog pose if you're used to yoga. You can have your hands on your thighs or your elbows on your thighs. But we want our hips, kind of like a sumo, we want our hips back. Then open the knees. Now when the knees and toes are in line, so if you feel like your knees go wider, turn your toes out wider too. If you like, you can shift back and forth. This feels kind of good. But very gentle. Anytime we're doing our active stretching, it's not bouncing. It's just very slow and controlled. And we don't want to do it all the time. We just want to do it enough to kind of release any of that tension and then hold. Hands on the thighs. Slowly come on up. Oh, shake it out. Click your heels. So now front to the hips. Just a little stretch. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go one more time through that little series, but a little modification. So take a breath. Get some fresh air in there. You can feel it all the way down that lower body. Exhale. Take your right leg, cross it over your left. All right, so we're doing the other leg first. And if you've already switched, no big deal. Big inhale. Exhale into your forward fold. So here we are again. Left leg is doing the stretch. Unless you did the other side, that's fine too, but that'll help. Hold it here, hinge at the hip. So notice this second time, maybe you feel yourself relaxing a little bit more, not as much tension. Inhale, halfway up. That's where those blocks come in handy. Lift that chest forward. Oh, this feels so good. Exhale, let it go. Now this time, we're gonna keep it crossed here like this, and instead of stepping out, I do want you to turn your body inside. So we're turning towards our right if your left foot is down. And notice that stretch. Go all the way down the side of the hip. If you need your blocks, a block handy. Kind of feel like a pretzel right now. Let your head hang heavy, reminding myself as well. Shift your weight slightly over so you can use that crossed foot for balance. Huge stretch of that IT band through the side of that hip, iliopsis as well. Maybe even your obliques and lower back. Slowly come back to center. Take your time. Make sure not to hold your breath. Uncross your legs first. Shake it out. Slowly ragdoll. Take your time. If you need to go slower. Oh, big inhale. Squeeze your booty. Shake anything out you need to shake out. Inhale, slight little back bend. Ah, feels good. Shake it out. All right, let's do the other side. So we are going to cross our left leg over our right. Stand nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Start with your forward fold. I'm going to turn this slight angle so you can see again. Hold it here. Take a breath. Working on the hamstring and glute on that right leg, the supporting leg. This crossed one isn't doing anything. Hold it here. Good. Lift halfway up. Remember, lengthen that spine. Imagine stretching that chest forward and your tailbone back. That'll help. Exhale, take it back down. Beautiful job. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So here we are. Stay right where you're at. We're going to walk our body to the left. So your right leg is supported, and we're going to walk to the left. If you need your block, you can have your block. Shift your weight slightly off to the edge. So if you want, you can step out just a tad, not too much, just enough for that balance. Feel that stretch go all the way to the side of the hip, all the way down the side of the leg. One more breath. Take it back to center for me, please. Uncross those legs. Take your time. Helps to wiggle it out a little bit. And then slowly take it up. Take your time. Oh my goodness. Inhale. Squeeze. Shake anything out you need to shake out. Little back bend. That back bend just kind of helps realign and shake it out. Open up those hips. So same thing we did before. Remember, second time, toes and knees out, we're just dropping down. Now remember, we're keeping the hips back. It's a different stretch. This is inner thighs. All right, and probably right through that lower back if you're really tight there. Toes and knees out and push. You could be up here. You can push from here. Now, if you're gonna do that, make sure your shoulders aren't squishing into your ears because we already stretched a little bit through that upper body. So we wanna make sure that we don't create more tension here and just hold it. Now you can use your elbows to push your knees wide. You can rock back and forth just like we did the first time, like here. And then use the hands. Ooh, a little sore, shake everything out. And before we take it down onto the ground, right here, I'm gonna turn this direction so that you can see we wanna counterbalance. So we did hips, IT band, iliopsis, low back, all the good stuff, right? But we're gonna finish off because we've gotta get through the front, and we did inner thigh too. So we're gonna just take one leg back. One leg back. Now, slightly tilt your pelvis forward. I want your shoulders stacked on top of your hips, slowly drop down. Now make sure that back foot is relaxed. We have a tendency to want to lift it up. Let the heel sink. Push your hips forward even more. Hold it here. Now, let's make sure we're not arching our back, but I want you to shift your whole body further over on your foot. Feel that stretch go right from here, all the way down the hip, all the way down your quad. And if you'd like, you can bend in deeper. Keep your hips, shoulders stacked. Oh, that feels so good. Slowly, this one's hard to come out of. And just step it out, shake it out. Good, you wanna wiggle, do whatever feels good. All right, other side, leg back. I'm just going this way so you can see. Tilt your pelvis forward. Slowly drop down, back heel, presses in. So if you're feeling yourself on your toes, let your heel sink. It's not gonna touch, it's okay. Shift. Now remember, we're gonna lean back, but try not to arch your back. I want you to shift everything back as one unit. Open up through the front of the body. Inhale, release. Oh, this feels so good. We do a lot of forward folds. It's easy to stretch the back of the body. It's hard to stretch the front of the body. So if we can open everything up in a line, even better. Slowly come on up. Shake it out. And we're gonna just rotate those hips in little circles. And you can go out. If you need to hold on to something for balance, you can hold on, okay? So whatever works. Good. Let's do that last hip flexor stretch with a variation, and then we're gonna take it down to the ground. So from here, step back, same thing we did before. The more you stagger your feet, the easier it is to balance. Rotate those hips forward, drop your body down. Now remember, we're not gonna arch, chest and hips are in line, knees heavy back. Now whatever leg is in back, arm can come on up. And you don't have to, if you want both arms up, you can have both arms up. All right, so whatever works for you, drop down. But lengthening here, imagine a string from your knee up through your chest into your fingertips, extending to the sky. If you want, you can bring that arm a little further back. Make sure you're not putting pressure on that low back though. Exhale, slowly release. Shake it out. Feel free to counterbalance by lifting it up. Excellent, let's do the other side. We're gonna take it down onto the ground. You guys are crushing it already. Step it out. Rotate your hips forward. Drop your chest down. Remember, let that ankle sink. And we're gonna shift back. Hold it here. Now if you'd like, that variation is to bring that, whatever back leg is, you're gonna same arm is up. Remember, you can have both arms up. Take a breath. Now maybe you wanna bring your arm a little further behind your ear. Watch that back. If it doesn't feel good to arch it, don't arch it. If your body's saying arch it, that's okay if it feels good. Slowly release. Step it up, shake it out. All right, we'll do little Captain Morgans here. Down, her, and lift. All right, so go the other way. It feels kind of weird, but we're gonna circle in. Circle in, use that brain. Circle in. If you need to hold on to something, you can circle in and shake it out. One big inhale. I'm gonna go sideways so you can see. Exhale, ragdoll, bending the knees. Rest your belly on your thighs. Very slowly tuck your chin just slightly down so the top of your head is facing the ground. Let your arms hang heavy. Feel that last stretch, that low back. Tilt your pelvis down or forward. So really round that lower back. Hold it here. Now you can either have your arms down, feel that gravity kind of lengthening your spine, or you can take your arms and wrap them around and just kind of pull in. Give yourself a big hug. This is great for the digestive system. Slowly release it. Now that we're already halfway down, let's go ahead and cross your feet if you like, and it's just easier to sit. Woo! Feels good. I'm gonna sit on a blanket. You do not have to sit on a blanket, but a good tip for this blanket is that it helps keep your spine straight. So we have a tendency to, when we sit, to lean back, right? Terrible posture, and also doesn't really focus on our alignment. So by sitting on this blanket, and I'll show you, by sitting on this blanket, we're able to kind of get on the edge, right? So if you can try that, you can sit on a pillow too. I have plenty of pillows. I like to sit on those too. We're gonna go into a little butterfly. So let's finish off with a little bit of hips here. We have a few more minutes. So roll the shoulders. Remember we talked about the spine being straight, help stretch the lower body. So let's lift up and then bring your chest forward. You don't have to go all the way down, okay? You can use your hands and your elbows to pull in so that you can press your chest further forward. Now you can even peace sign your fingers here, and I like to put them right in my big toe and then pull. I'm not really pulling, I'm just gently extending or using the resistance, okay? So nothing's really a pull. I hope this feels amazing. It's definitely a great way to get your day started or to finish off your day. So round the shoulders. Now go ahead and drop down. And if you need your blocks, this is a time where if you're up here and you're like, I can't go any further, that's okay. Just means you need this more. There's no right or wrong or good or bad, right? So we can take your block and you can rest it, and maybe you having a hard time getting that high, feel free to stack. Okay, so whatever works for you. Feel that stretch right through that low back. Feel your hips opening up. Feel your knees slowly sinking down here. Take your time as you come on up. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest, working on that upper back and then lower back. Go ahead and grab your shins. Now, if you have a hard time grabbing onto your shins, just grab the back of your thigh here. So whatever works for you. Round your shoulders. Tuck your shoulders away from your ears and then lean back. Now it helps if you do a little pelvic tilt and then lean back. Try not to fall back, okay? So right here, and then round, let your shoulders sink. So it helps if you kind of point the elbows down. Slowly come on up. Excellent. Now grab wherever you're comfortable. We're going to lift and straighten the spine. And what we're going to do is kind of open up our knees just enough where we can place our belly through our thighs. Take your shoulder blades, press them down. This feels good. Exhale, let's do that again. Round your back. Tuck your chin in your chest. Lean back. Maybe this time you can lean a little further. Maybe this time you can round your shoulders a little more away from your rib cage. So imagine your shoulder blades. We're going to open them up, right? So they're touching your spine. Well, sort of touching your spine, but imagine it. And then we open them up like wings. And really just create space between your shoulder blades and your neck. And if your chin is resting slightly by your chest, you can feel that go all the way up right to the nape of your neck. Take your time as you come on up. Good, feel free to open those knees. Placing that belly through your thighs is just fine. And then lift that chin and chest up. Press your shoulder blades back. So we've worked hips, IT band, low back, upper back, hamstrings, hip flexors, everything. We're going to finish off with just a little bit of shoulders here. We're going to just sit however you're comfortable. So you can cross your legs, you can sit here, whatever feels good for all this. Now, no matter what, I want you to keep that spine nice and straight. So if you feel yourself sitting, maybe you need that blanket. It's just a good tool to help. All right, so let's take one arm and we're gonna bring it behind you. Looks like this. So I'm gonna show you this way so that you can kind of see. And if your arm is here, that's fine. If you can reach it all the way around, that's fine. And I like to take my hand and kind of flex my palm. So even if it's here, you can kind of flex or just imagine pushing your fingers in. Okay, so once you're there, you're already getting a nice stretch through your shoulder. Take your shoulder blade and open up. So if you feel like you're doing this, open up. Now very gently, right arm is across, so you're going to lean slightly to the left. So feel that stretch go from the ear all the way down to the shoulder here. Again, if you feel your shoulder rolling forward, we want to open up. So I use that hand, like I showed you on my back, to push that elbow back. Slowly bring your head up. Slowly release the arm and give yourself little hugs on that side. Whatever feels good, shake it out. So let's do the other side. Bring it around your back. Again, so notice that when I do that, this shoulder is a lot tighter. I've had an injury a long time ago, and so I am really tight here. So my shoulder wants to come here. So this arm, I'd rather have a little less across my body, all right? And then if I push my hand, my dog's trying to get in, and my table is going to go flying. Oh, it's not my dog, it's my husband.
Going for a bite, right?
Okay. I thought my dog was so strong. How is he opening the door with furniture at the door? Gently take it ear to shoulder. Oh, this feels so good. There's so much stress that we carry in our shoulders and our neck. So any of those multi-function joints, that's where we carry all of our stress. Head comes up. Slowly release it. Shake it out. Give yourself a single hug. Let's give yourself double hugs. Hold your hug. Tuck your chin in your chest if you'd like. Switch those arms. Drop it down if you'd like. Last stretch, bring your arms behind you, roll your shoulders back, open up. Now if you'd like your arms off your back, you can have your arms off your back. Whatever feels good to you. Make sure that your spine is straight. If you want to look up or slightly arch, you can, or maybe just keep your head straight. Maybe those arms can come a little higher. The wiggle, just get it a little bit higher if that feels good. Open your heart. Slowly release. Shake it out. We have covered everything in a short period of time. Perfect timing for you. For those of you that enjoy this workout, we do have an online membership, and I will click the link. One extra day, we're doing 25% off. So just put in the code BOOTY, B-O-T-T-Y, and 25% off our membership. And we'd love to have you guys join us, but we are here too. So have a great day. Any questions, comments, please let me know. I'm here for you guys. Namaste.